do is I'm going to kind of go through our timeline of what's happened so far and what we're looking for from the media. So on December 20th of this year at 8:30, Lower Windsor Township police officers was dispatched for information regarding Kadin Black, a 19-year-old male from the Lower Windsor Township East Prospect area. He left the residence of Vicky Lee Drive, and he had been staying there for several months, but left unexpectedly without any notice, and at this time there was no indications of foul play. But we are now considering him missing, and we are doing this as an inquiry for his well-being. It was reported that he was last seen on the 17th. Items missing were his shoes, cell phone, and wallet. It was reported that he also had deleted some social media platforms, and we're unsure if that had anything to do with his becoming missing. That evening, he was put into NCIC, which is our crime information system for other departments that would run him or check for his status. We also pinged his cell phone. The last activity was that we did the phone was at 12 hours, and it showed that he was 2.4 miles away from the cell tower on Old Commons Road. That would be centrally located within the township. The next morning, the next day on the 21st, I spoke with Ms. Patterson and updated her on the situation of the investigation. I asked her that if she would like to contact the media, we would support that. I would like to reiterate that he is a 19-year-old male. I then did confirm with several social media and media outlets that we are actively looking for him for his welfare. Officers from this department had spoke to several friends, including me. I did a patrol of the East Prospect, Lower Windsor area, talked to several of the townspeople, as well as friends, people that I knew he was associated with, and no one knew of anything involving his missing, disappearance, or what his status was. Officers also checked by vehicle and foot some of the wooded areas around East Prospect Borough. The department had reposted the family's missing person flyer on our Facebook social media pages. I then contacted Scott James, Chief County Detective with the District Attorney's Office. We've been in constant contact since then, and I would like to stress that we've been working with both DA Sunday and Scott James closely since the 21st with that initial contact. On the 22nd, our officers went on Google Maps. We did a search of the ping area, any areas that we knew we had any interaction with Kadin, and also ATV areas. We know that he was involved with ATV sports. We went through some of the residents. There was an area that they used to live on East Prospect Road. We went to that residence. We searched the outbuildings, the property, and the family allowed us to check the Cursory home area. Nothing was found there. We also checked with Mr. Black's employer, gathered information from coworkers, his work information, when he was last seen, when he was last paid. Then we spoke to the person who he had dinner with on the evening of the 16th, who was a work friend relationship. He left that home around 11 o'clock. The person who was working with Black advised that they were planning on seeing each other on Monday the 19th, which was his next day of work. We also then contacted the Faust. We offered police assistance in checking the area. They allowed us to check the area, or they advised that they checked the area west of the property, which is a little wooded area, and they felt that they had checked that area fairly well. We checked the home, his room. We checked the vehicles that Kadin had access to. Once again, we didn't find anything out of the ordinary. We then talked to Ms. Patterson. She received some hostile spam messages from the flyer. We looked into some of those leads, and there was nothing with that. We talked to a friend, a female friend who was living in Cool Creek Manor Apartments. Nothing developed from that lead. On the 23rd, we received information that someone saw Kadin walking walking in the area of the Rudders in Windsor at the Cape Ford Road location. Officers responded to that, checked video footage, and advised that that was not Kadin that was on that footage. On the 27th, without any new leads, and the amount of time that passed, I contacted Mr. Faust, and we advised that since we hadn't heard from They have not heard from Kadin, both Ms. Patterson and the Faust, that I contacted Chief Prosecutor Taylor Catherman, Chief James. We prepared a search warrant for the banking records. We received that back, and we are currently following up on several of the transactions, going to the businesses and stuff like that to check any video footage and anything that would lead us to any information. Officers from the police department received information that he might have been with a family friend, or I'm sorry, walking in the area of East Philly. Police went to that area, did not find anything. We checked the home of the friend that he was supposed to have been with that night at the last dinner, and there was nothing there. Officer Lake conducted a foot patrol in the area of the treatment plant, East Prospect Road, in the fields. Nothing was found that day either. On the 29th, officers spoke with the Faust again. We did a search of Kadin's room. They let us look around. We spoke to them and interviewed them again. I spoke to Ms. Patterson. She's expressing interest in doing a search, a large-scale civilian search. Now, I would like to make it clear that we would love to have the community's help, but a large search of this area is monumental, a large undertaking, and should be done by trained people with the permission of the property owners for both the searcher's safety, the homeowner's safety, and to protect the scene for any potential evidence that if something would to happen. So just to keep that in mind. I also applied for a search warrant for his cell phone records. That includes text messages, calls, cell tower locations, and because that is quite a task, we have not received all that information yet, but we are hoping to get that very, very soon. I spoke to the Center of Missing and Exploited Children regarding the release of the poster. What we also did is we put it on the state police, basic police information site that goes to all the police departments to be on the lookout for Kadin for his welfare. On the 30th, officers followed up with several credit card purchases and forwarded all the banking records to the district attorney's office. And once again, with a collaborative effort, we've been reviewing that and following up on some information. We continue to look into various leads, including credit cards, although no transactions have happened since the report of his disappearance. We are also, with Chief James, we are conducting several interviews, including family members, the Faust. I believe they spoke to Ms. Patterson, and we're continuing the joint effort with the district attorney's office. On the 2nd, I wanted to advise that we, with the South Central Search and Rescue Team and the East Prospect Fire Company, did a search of the general area of Vicky Lee Drive, East Prospect. That was done by foot and by drone. We did get some permission from some homeowners to check some areas that the drones could not adhere, but nothing was found. I then did contact Crime Stoppers, and there's on the back table the flyers from Crime Stoppers. They do offer a reward for some information that would come in, but that's on their website, and the flyer is in the back with Mr. Black's information. On the 3rd, the police department forwarded information again about West Philadelphia Street, that someone had seen Kadin walking along the street. We had 2 officers and a photo sent to the New York City Police. Within a half an hour, they checked the area and the perimeter, and nothing was found. So in closing, I just want to basically say that today we're asking for the public's assistance in this matter. We believe that someone may have some information or seen Kadin since the 7th of December. If you may know where he is presently, or you have any information, you should contact the Lower Windsor Police Department at 717-244-8055, or you can call York County 911. If Kadin happens to see this message or hear of it, please call us or your mom. We are actively looking for you. And the last thing I'd like to say that at this point, this is not a criminal incident. He's a 19-year-old man, but we are very concerned for his welfare and his well-being. He's not in any trouble with the police. Matter of fact, we've always had a very nice relationship with Kadin. We would like to find him and put the family's mind at ease and check to see how he's doing.